Okay, if you want to find out about part one, go back and check part one out because it's very interesting. Michael has a history of actually living here in the city and living. We're actually on his basically his home turf right here. Um, as we talked a little bit about, the local city government and how important it is to actually get involved. Now, I want to get into very briefly how you're out here canvassing just like every other politician. So nature gave us a perfect weekend. How important is the canvassing and the walking around the streets? How much do the candidates and politicians in general, learn about walking around the streets and talking to people, not versus like having an appointment set up in an office? And how important does this come into play with just getting people back involved in the system and giving them a reason to believe in our government again?
Well, the one thing about canvassing is it's very improvisational. People don't sit in their living rooms thinking someone that's running for office is going to knock on my door today. So you catch people off guard a little bit, and that's not a bad thing because it gives people an opportunity to ask you directly. As much as running for office or serving your community is about speaking, it's equally as important to listen. So going to people's doors directly, you go right to the source. I was talking earlier about council meetings, very scarcely attended. So rather than have someone worry about going to town hall, this gives people an opportunity to bring a councilman or a future councilman to their front door. And you're only going to get so much information from a handout, from a website, from a mailer. I try to be reached via email. I give my personal phone number to anyone that wants it. But being on someone's front door, on their porch, gives them an opportunity to ask me, the candidate, not a representative of mine, not a campaign person of mine, ask me what I think and get to know me and get the answers that are most important to them, whether it's about the state of our public safety, state of the development in the city. Everyone has different things that are important to them, and what canvassing does is it takes me right to the constituents and give them the answers from my mouth directly. I mean, it doesn't get any more personal than standing on someone's front porch or what happens as frequently sitting in someone's living room.
Now, just a quick question. In today's society in general, and the overall world that we live in, doing it during the day is obviously the most intelligent thing. But depending on, and this is from the smallest town to the largest city, you kind of have to be careful as to, as far as your own personal safety, though, because of the world that we live in. Correct?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not saying in general, but it's also, I'm talking about the state of the world that we live in general.
Yeah. Well, it's more courtesy also, Mike. I don't go knocking on doors at midnight.
Right.
I don't want to wake people up.
Right.
I try to, on the weekends, be respectful to what time I feel people are done with their breakfast, and then I try not to go later to when people are going to be eating dinner. And then during the week, I try not to go any later than about 7. That's what I tell myself. Normally it's closer to 7:30, but that's because I know I like to relax in the evenings with what time I have to relax. Sometimes people are already maybe in a nightgown or finishing up dinner, doing the dishes, stuff like that. So it's not so much safety that I'm worried about.
Right.
I jog nightly through West Bethlehem, South Bethlehem, and loop back around to where I live. I don't worry ever about my own personal safety other than looking both ways when I cross the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about being respectful to people's time and that I can't be selfish in that if I have till 9 p.m., I'm not going to knock on doors till 9 p.m.
Right.
I don't think I'm going to win many voters being disrespectful either.
No. Now, I'm going to wind this out real quick because I know I want you to get back out there because, I really appreciate your time. Okay, as far as Bethlehem, I informed you that I did a video editorial a while ago called Bethlehem the Sleeping Dragon. Because being over here covering the events, being over here, spending most of my time over here primarily, I see that Bethlehem's doing a lot of things that aren't getting the media attention right now. But on the flip side of it, I've taken notice that Bethlehem has also become kind of stagnant where it's like if you live here, if you visit here, it's one thing, but if you live here year after year, everything kind of becomes routine and certain things become boring. Now, if you are elected, I'm sure you have ideas to pump, even make the smallest change, like a festival, to like something that would start that would like ignite everything for that festival again. Basically, this is your chance to tell people point blank, if you're elected, why they should elect you, and if you're elected, what you will do for the city.
Well, when you say stagnant, I kind of feels like you will say boring. And as someone who's lived here for 29 years, with the exception of being away in college, I wouldn't say it was boring, or else as many of us wouldn't stick around.
Right.
The best thing that I see when I'm out knocking on doors is people who not only grew up here, but their parents grew up here, or their grandparents grew up here. Bethlehem's still a city in transition. We're still developing this post-steel economy. One of the things that the Bethlehem Steel taught us is that nothing lasts forever. We always have to be looking at tomorrow, that what we do today, how it's going to impact tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Why I think people should vote for me is because that I've displayed my passion and dedication to the city already, and that I bring a good, comprehensive knowledge of our services, but more importantly, our people. Now, what I do depends a lot on what the needs are of the city moving forward. A city like Bethlehem, 75,000 people, larger in terms of square miles than Allentown. People don't realize that. Bethlehem's bigger.
I just finally, not that long ago, realized that how far it's like, okay, where exactly I'm familiar with the western end,
Yes, yes.
Union Boulevard or Hanover Avenue, but it's like, I just realized exactly how large, many square miles that Bethlehem actually
Bethlehem's bigger in terms of square mileage, and a lot of that is brownfields from the Bethlehem Steel. We have our own challenges, but it's going to continue to be dynamic, bringing the right kind of development in here, sustainable development. We are a force we're looking daily over in the skyline at Martin Towers, a good reminder of where Bethlehem used to be. So I got to keep a watchful eye on where we're going, but also what people in the city want to see. And government, just like life, finances, anything you name, is all about balance. So trying to balance best what the needs of the city are going to be moving forward, but also what people care about in neighborhoods like this and in the community.
And this is a very beautiful neighborhood. It's like when we first got together today, I was like, I've spent way too much time in this city. I forgot what even the suburbs, how peaceful and beautiful it is out here.
Well, it's nice having open space like this in this part of town. You have the boys club over in the distance. A lot of young people that attend Marvine, Lincoln Elementary, or Northeast Middle School. Having these open fields, you just saw that family that was back here playing. Young people always playing on the basketball courts. It's good to have these kids, give them something to do, something productive to do. And you can't ask for a better day. I'm probably getting sunburned sitting out here.
Why does everybody think I have long hair in the summer?
Yeah.
And of course, when I was walking over here from Stefco, the mandatory smell of the grill going.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of good food. I smell it in the air. That's not a bad thing when you're out canvassing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
People offer me a burger or a hot dog every here and there. That's not a complaint, I'll tell you that.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I want to wish you the best of
Thanks, Mike.
luck in your election, and and enjoy. I wish you the best of luck. Like I told you, my magazine stays completely neutral in politics. My personal opinions are not included in the magazine.
Understood. Well, the important thing is I hope people come out May 19th, whether you live in Easton, Allentown, Bethlehem, any township, any borough. Vote. Educate yourself about who your candidates are, not just at the municipal level, but we have in Northampton County a couple of judges races going on. Make your own decisions, but educate yourself about it, and come on out to your local polling place on May 19th. If anyone has any questions for me, you could always simply look me up on social media or whatever you want to do. Our website is simply cologneforcouncil.com, and anyone can email me directly through the website. Thank you guys. Thanks, Mike.